Hi Messy Churches! Today we're going to be baking some biscuits for harvest celebrations. So with great thanks to Sue, who has provided us with the recipe and with all the ingredients, and so today we're just going to be making some plain biscuits. Your recipe says you can add some vanilla if you have it. I've got a little bit of vanilla, so I'm going to be adding mine. If you don't want to, it doesn't matter. And at the end, when they're all baked and have cooled down, if you've got some icing, you can decorate them as well. I've got some here that I made earlier to show you. My decoration is rubbish, but I'm sure you can do a really good job. There we go. And they are quite tasty, I have to say. So, let's start by weighing out our butter. So I've got my scales here. I'm going to use my mixer. If you haven't got a mixer, you can just do it in a bowl with a wooden spoon. So let's just turn that on. No, didn't like that. Wait a minute. That's it. And 0 it. And we need to put in 100 grams of unsalted butter. It will make it easier if you get it out of the fridge before. I think that might be about 100 grams anyway. No, 150 that was. Get it out of the fridge a while before you're going to use it so that it's nice and soft. Mine's a little bit on the hard side. Oh, just about right. Just put that bit to one side. And then I'm just going to chop that up and put it in the mixer to make it the mixing job easier. So be very careful if you're using a knife to do this. Right. There we go. If you make these again, you don't need to use unsalted butter. If you don't want to, you can use cooking margarine, which might be easier to get hold of. It'll taste a bit different, but not a lot. I think it'll taste nicer with butter, actually. But if you can't get it, cooking margarine will work. So that's the butter in, and now we're going to put the sugar in as well. So we need caster sugar. I'm just going to wash my hands because I'm buttering out. We're going to put in 100 grams of caster sugar. Nearly there. Oops. And now we're ready. Take out some of my sugar because I have too much. I think you'll have just the right amount in your packs, so that will make it easier. Nearly there. I'm trying not to get the butter out as well now. I don't want to mix up my butter with my sugar. Right, that'll do. Okay. Right, that's the sugar in, and now you can either do this by hand or you can do it in a mixer. I'm going to do it in a mixer because it'll make it quicker. Right, while we're waiting for that to mix, I'm going to break my egg into, I've got a jug. I'm using bottom if you prefer. Get all the egg out. And just give that a little beat. You don't want to go too mad, just beat it up a little bit. How's this doing? Right, I'm going to turn this up now, make it look faster. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to see it change to a lighter colour. So I'm just going to do it a bit more. So I'll show you what it looks like at the moment. As you can see, that's quite yellow and quite granulated still. So I'm just going to mix up a bit more. A little while. You need to, if you're going to do it by hand, you need to be strong. Maybe pass it around the family and all have a go. Right. I don't know if you can see, but that's a slightly lighter yellow than it was, and it's not quite as granular as it was. You do it a bit more than that if you want to do, but we're going to carry on and see how we go on. So next, you take your beaten egg and just add a little bit at a time. So I'm just going to put a little bit in, put that back down again and mix it up again. Nearly there. Now you're going to put a bit more in. It's just starting to stick to the edges, so I'm going to get it down with a spatula, give it a better chance of mixing well. Okay, so just move it all down into the spatula. Of course, if you're doing this by hand, you won't need to worry about that because you'll be able to see what's going on and sort it out as you go along. So there we go. Right, put that down again, and here we go again. Right, I am just finishing this off by mixing it with the wooden spoon. So I'll show you what it looks like now. And next we need our flour. So I'm going to take that out of there, put that back on the scales, zero it, and we need 275 grams of plain flour. So you can put all this in at one go. A bit more. No, good. Okay, back under. At this point, actually, if you want to, you could just use the spoon really. So get that up there. Hopefully this will mix up. It might take a little while. I'm going to pause you a minute. Okay, so now it looks like this. I've got the flour in and I'm just going to keep mixing it, and the idea is that it forms into a ball, into a dough. Just got to keep going. I could use my mixer, but I think I can see what's happening better if I do it by hand. This is hard work. It's good exercise. Starting to get there now, I'll tell you. Okay. Keep going. And Now you can get your hands in. This is lovely and messy bit. Get your hands in and start to bring it all together. Let me show you. So you're starting to get it into a ball there. Okay, just keep manipulating it until you've got a nice ball of dough. And this is why bakers generally have quite strong muscles. Unless they use a machine, and then, yeah, that's cheating you, isn't it, really? So. Right, let me show you how we do. We have a ball of dough. Okay, so get all this stuff out of the way now. Don't like wasting mixture, let's just put that in. Okay. All that out of the way, move that out of the way. Okay, so what you need to do now is just put a little bit of flour onto your work surface or on your board, because the next bit is all about rolling it out. One thing I didn't get out is my rolling pin. If you don't have a rolling pin, do not despair, do not worry, because what you could do, if you have one, is use a glass bottle. Just make sure it's nice and clean. And that will work as well as a rolling pin, I should think. Right, I'll get my rolling pin out. There we go. And you need to roll it out until it's about 1 centimetre thick. What it was, I was just checking, 1 centimetre. So the biscuits I made before, I didn't make 24 because I had a bit of a large cutter, so I'm using a smaller cutter this time. You can use whatever cutter you've got. If you don't have a cutter, and that's probably thinner than it needs to be, if you don't have a cutter, then you can cut around something with a knife or with a butter knife or something. So you could maybe use a bottle or a jar and cut around that. I've got a cutter, so I'm going to use my cutter. So you need your baking tray, and you need to have, I've got my baking tray ready with a liner on it. You need to use some baking paper so it doesn't stick, and then just cut out all your biscuits and put them with a little bit of space between them onto your liner. There we go. And what you need to do is you need to have the oven on at this point. You probably need to put it on a bit earlier depending on your oven. Mine gets hot quite quickly, but if yours takes a long time to get hot, you might need to put it on early, preheat it to 190 degrees Celsius, which is 170 degrees if you've got a fan oven, or gas mark 5 if yours is a gas oven. So let's just get that going. There we go, that can be warming up while we're waiting. Yeah, 3, 6, 9, 12 so far. Wonder if I'm going to get 24 this time. I think I might. $17, $18, right, now all the bits you've got left, just squidge them back together, because we don't chuck them away, we roll them out again. makes 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. I need 4 more to make my 24. I think I'm going to get there. Oh, I'm going to do more than 24, so I obviously rolled mine out a bit too thin this time. Let's just finish it off. And the very last bit that you have, if you roll it into a ball, squish it down. You can always, if it fits, squish it into your cutter so that you've got the right shape. Okay, and they are ready to go in the oven. Don't need to prep them or anything, so let's put them in the oven. These out. Put this in. Right in the middle of the oven. In they go, and they need to stay in there for 8 to 10 minutes. So let's set the timer on that. That's 10 minutes. Okay. So as you can hear, the timer is going off. So again, have a look and see if they're ready. Steam the glasses up. Oh, they're on the cusp of being ready. Let me show you. So I'm going to give them another, I don't know, another 5 minutes, I think. They don't look quite ready. Maybe I didn't warm my oven up early enough. I'll pop them back in there and give them another 5 minutes. While you're waiting for yours to cook, you can do what I did and tidy up. So I've been washing up and drying up and nearly ready to get them out of the oven. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, they're nearly ready to come out now and they're smelling rather nice. There we go. Oh, last one here. Can't see. Okay. Here's the biscuits. I'm going to leave them on here for a minute. I'm going to shut the store. Oh good, I can see now. I'll turn that off. And we're just going to take them out carefully and pop them on a cooling rack. So they'll need to cool for at least, I would say half an hour maybe. Before you can touch them, they're going to be very, very hot. And then if you want to, when you have time and you have facilities, you can ice them or decorate them. I would suggest, if you have it, melting some chocolate on them or something like that, because I don't know, I love chocolate, so you know, can't go wrong with chocolate, can you? If you don't have chocolate and you don't have icing, they're perfectly fine without anything on. And the best thing about it is there are so many that you can share them round. So that's what we're doing. We're talking about sharing. So bringing in the harvest was always a celebration of all the good things that our God has given us. But having things is no fun unless you can share them. It's no good having something and not showing anybody, or unless you can really see what you've got or sharing it. So don't forget to share your biscuits with the rest of the family. God bless. Bye bye for now.